Have you ever heard someone mention pig iron and wondered why on earth a metal, something tough, heavy, and industrial, would be named after a farm animal? It sounds almost silly, right? Pig iron. You can picture an iron bar squealing or rolling around in the dirt. But the name actually has a fascinating origin rooted in early metalworking, old smelting traditions, and a bit of imagination that stuck around for centuries. Today, we're diving into why this crucial material in steelmaking carries such a strange and memorable name. And the story behind it is more visual, more practical, and a lot more interesting than you might expect right here on History of Simple Things. Before we jump into the name, let's get one thing clear. Pig iron is one of the most important stepping stones to modern industry. It's the raw, unrefined iron that comes straight out of the blast furnace. You can think of it as the first form of iron after it's been extracted from ore, kind of like freshly baked bread straight out of the oven before it's sliced, packaged, or turned into anything fancy. When iron ore, coke, and limestone are heated together in a blast furnace, molten iron collects at the bottom while impurities form slag on top. The superhot iron is then drained out, still liquid, and poured into long sand-carved molds on the ground. Once it cools and solidifies, it becomes what we call pig iron. But why pig? What's pig-like about it? Well, this is where the story gets fun. To understand the name, we need to go back to older ironworking practices before modern steel plants existed. Workers used to pour molten iron into molds made in sand beds. These molds had one large central channel, and attached to that channel were several smaller side channels. The molten iron flowed from the central trench into each of these smaller branches, filling them up as it cooled. Now picture this. The big central channel looked like a mother pig lying on her side. The smaller side channels looked like piglets lined up to nurse. That's it. That's the whole reason. People saw the resemblance and started calling the main channel the sow, and the smaller molded bars were the pigs. Each cooled bar of iron, those smaller channels, became a pig of iron. Eventually, pig iron became the universal term. It's one of those names that probably started as a joke or a casual description among workers, but once enough people said it, it never left. As ironmaking evolved, the casting method changed. Modern plants no longer use the old sow and piglet mold arrangement. Now, pig iron is often cast into large, standardized ingots, or even granular or liquid forms for transport. But here's the interesting part. The word pig stayed, even when the iron no longer looked like piglets at all. This shows how language and industry works. Sometimes a term becomes so widespread and so embedded in everyday usage that even new technology can't erase it. It's similar to how we still say we dial a number, even though phones haven't used dials in decades. Pig iron, once a literal visual description, is now just the accepted name for iron straight out of the furnace. If you're wondering what separates pig iron from other forms of iron, it mostly comes down to carbon content. Pig iron has a very high carbon percentage, usually around 3.5% to 4.5%. That's way too high to make it useful on its own because it makes the metal brittle. But that high carbon level is exactly what makes pig iron the perfect starting material for producing steel and cast iron. It's like the raw dough before it becomes bread, pizza, or pastries. You can't use raw dough on its own, but it's the essential base for so many things we rely on. Pig iron is melted down again, refined, cleaned up, and mixed with other materials to produce usable metal. So even though we don't use pig iron by itself to build buildings or bridges, Everything made of steel or cast iron owes its existence to pig iron at some stage. One of the fascinating things about industrial terms is that they often reflect the people who first used them. Workers relying on everyday experiences to describe unusual or new processes. Pig iron is a perfect example. There's no Latin root, no scientific jargon, just a visual comparison pulled straight from a farm scene hundreds of years ago. The name pig iron actually shows how interconnected early communities were. Farmers, blacksmiths, miners, and furnacemen all lived within the same ecosystem. It makes sense that workers would compare their molds to something familiar, especially when the resemblance was so obvious. Today, the industrial world is covered with technical language and specialized vocabulary. But some of the old, earthy terms remain, and pig iron is one of them. Even though modern manufacturing uses advanced furnaces, automated casting machines, and precise refining processes, pig iron remains a fundamental material in global industry. Every skyscraper, ship, car, appliance, and machine that uses steel owes something to pig iron. Understanding where the term comes from gives us a small glimpse into the evolution of metalworking. It reminds us that behind every piece of modern technology is a long story of human trial, error, creativity, and sometimes unexpected humor. Pig iron isn't just a material, it's a piece of history. Let's be honest, if it were simply called raw iron ingot or primary iron, nobody would remember it. The name pig iron has personality. It sticks. It sparks curiosity. It makes you picture early workers standing around their sand molds, giving their creations silly nicknames because the shapes reminded them of piglets huddling around their mother. And sometimes, that's all it takes for a name to last centuries. So why is it called pig iron? Because once upon a time, when molten iron flowed into sand molds, it looked like a mother pig and her piglets. Simple as that. It's a name born from imagination, from practicality, and from the everyday life of workers who shaped the early metal industry. And even though the casting methods have changed, the name remains, carrying with it a small reminder of where modern metalworking began. Next time you hear someone mention pig iron, you won't picture a farm animal. You'll picture those branching molds, glowing with fresh molten metal, and the workers who saw something familiar and gave it a name that stood the test of time. If you enjoyed this video, please check out our other bingeable channels. Thank you for joining us on this journey through the history of simple things. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and stay tuned for more stories woven through the smallest details.